Hey, today I'm talking about the truth about mTOR, autophagy, and longevity. So what is mTOR? mTOR stands for mammalian target of rapamycin, and it is the master regulator of our metabolism. It's a nutrient sensing pathway, and what it does is it actually stimulates cell reproduction, cell growth, and overall increase in the cell biomass. So it has to do with growing. So a child is going to have high driving mTOR pathway because they're growing rapidly. A pregnant woman, mTOR is elevated because they're growing a baby right inside of them. A bodybuilder is actually following a certain pattern to actually increase the amount of mTOR because they want to grow more biomass. They want to grow more muscle. They want more muscle growth. So mTOR is a master regulator of metabolism. It needs to be balanced with what we call autophagy, which is signaled by the AMPK pathway. So mTOR, there's an enzyme called mTOR kinase, which activates the production of mTOR and all of what mTOR does in the body. And then AMPK is what signals autophagy. And autophagy is catabolic, so it helps break down damaged proteins within the cell. What kind of proteins become damaged? Well, all the proteins in the cell, particularly the mitochondria, which is what produces all the energy in the cell. It's the energy sensor in the cell. It can become damaged from high levels of oxidative stress. It needs to be repaired on a regular basis in order for the cell to be able to function well. That's what autophagy does. So mTOR, whenever you hear longevity experts, they'll talk about the problems with too much mTOR. And the issue with mTOR is, it's necessary for growing biomass. So growing strong, healthy muscle, it's really key for that. However, when mTOR is chronically elevated, it causes too much cell reproduction. It stops autophagy, and we get an overgrowth of cells with damaged proteins, senescent cells that aren't functioning well, and that accelerates the aging process, creates something called inflammaging, where we have inflammation we have chronic inflammation, underlying chronic inflammation that's accelerating or speeding up the aging process in our skin, in our muscles, our joints, and we just don't feel well. We age faster than we should. So, is mTOR the problem? No, it's the environment that's overactivating mTOR and not allowing for enough autophagy. Because the big problem with mTOR is if it's elevated for too long, it stops autophagy. We need to cycle back and forth between mTOR and autophagy. If we have too much autophagy going on, we end up with sarcopenia, meaning that we actually lose too much muscle mass. And we know that the rate of sarcopenia, the rate of muscle loss, is directly related to earlier mortality or to your mortality rate. So as you're losing muscle, your risk of overall death goes up. And so clearly we don't want that. So a key biomarker for longevity and good health is maintaining healthy muscle mass, particularly as you're aging. And a lot of the sex hormones like testosterone are going down, which help preserve lean body mass. You still want to preserve that lean body mass, and that has to do with cycling back and forth between autophagy and mTOR, right? And getting the right cycle there. And so what things help to inhibit mTOR? This is important to know. Here's things that help inhibit mTOR. And these are actually really powerful things because we need them and we can utilize them strategically at times. Fasting, intermittent fasting or extended fasting, really key. Ketones elevated in our bloodstream. So in ketosis, when we get into nutritional ketosis, we do that because our body says, oh, okay, wow, we don't have enough available glucose. So we need to start burning fat for fuel. And we actually need to get fat across the blood-brain barrier. We can't actually get fatty acids across the blood-brain barrier. So our liver takes the fatty acids, turns them into a smaller chain water-soluble molecule we call ketones. Those ketones get in the bloodstream, get into the brain. They actually reduce brain inflammation. And on top of that, they slow down mTOR, right? And they trigger autophagy inside of our system. Now, there's other polyphenols as well, things like green tea, which has something called catechin products, epigalactin catechin. Is one of the most powerful ones. You have things like berberine, you have things like turmeric, which has curcumin in it. You have oregano, which has carcelic acid in it. You've got rosemary. All of these kind of polyphenol-rich herbs, they all can help support and drive up autophagy and inhibit mTOR, right? And that's the key, is they bring down mTOR, which allows for autophagy. Caffeine is another one. So doing caffeine itself actually will inhibit mTOR, and that, because it's inhibiting, putting the brakes on mTOR, it increases autophagy in our system. But the biggest drivers are fasting as well as getting in ketosis. Now, what actually drives and increases mTOR? That's going to be high carbohydrate load, high amino acids in the bloodstream. That's also going to be high insulin levels in general, like after having a big meal, particularly a big meal with a lot of starch or sugar in it. That's going to drive up insulin. High testosterone levels. It's also going to be driven up by exercise, right? Strength training, things like that. And exercise is really interesting, actually. Exercise actually has kind of a dual effect. Exercise will prime the mTOR pathway, meaning that it will actually put the brakes on it and accelerate it at the same time. I'm going to explain that in just a second because I know that's confusing. But other things that drive it are inflammation in general. So when we have inflammation in our system, the inflammatory cytokines will drive more mTOR. So when people are undergoing inflammation, they're actually cycling into their building phase of their cell danger response and their healing cycle, and they drive more mTOR activation. And so we got to keep inflammation under control to undergo proper amounts of autophagy as well.